Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Easton Cook and I bought a Tesla Model Y about 2 months ago. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you how I bought a brand new $50,000 Model Y for only $1,000 down. Now that's pretty wild since the average down payment for a Model Y is $5,000 to $12,000 down. But before I explain, y'all, of course, make sure and subscribe, like the video. You can also shop my merch at eastonexplorers.com. Obviously, follow me on the socials at Easton Explorers. Now let me tell you what happened. I leased a Model 3 about 2 years ago, and that lease recently ended about, well, 2 months ago in June. I leased the Model 3 because I wanted to make sure that a Tesla was really the car that I wanted. I didn't want to commit to going from gas to a fully electric vehicle, especially when there's a bit of a learning curve before test driving it daily. Now, if you're not familiar with Tesla, the learning curve I'm talking about is regenerative braking. This type of braking system just means that when you let your foot off the accelerator, the car begins to slow down at a very fast rate. See, gas cars can just kind of coast for a long time, but Tesla, when you let your foot off that accelerator, it's like your body is forced forward a bit. And don't get dramatic, it's just more of something you can feel, because the moment I do it, if I'm going like, I don't know, let's just say 30 miles an hour and I just take my foot off the accelerator, my body will do this right here and kind of lean forward. And the why behind the what is that the energy captured from that slowdown is transferred back into the battery. So with that type of system in a Tesla, I didn't want to go from a gas car to a brand new driving style without actually taking it out and making sure I enjoyed it. Because it would happen very easily that I would buy the car and think, oh, I like this system for like the first week and then immediately get annoyed with it. Also, just in case you're considering buying a Tesla, I have to say you can change the settings of that regenerative braking in the Tesla settings itself, and you can make it model a gas car. However, you won't capture the range that you would if you use the braking system that they recommend. Anyway, after 2 years of driving that Model 3, I figured out very quickly that I loved the vehicle. Honestly, just about everything was incredible. The only thing I wanted was more space. In case you don't know what the Model 3 is, it is like the 4-door sedan and it sits very low to the ground. I'm 6 foot, I've got broad shoulders. I did not enjoy doing a squat every time I wanted to get in and out of the vehicle. So when my lease was coming to a close, it was time to either renew my lease, purchase a vehicle, or use public transit. I looked into many options, even non-Tesla options, and I just came up with the same conclusion every time. I want a Tesla. That much was set in stone. Whatever I had to do, I wanted the Tesla. Now, I had sat in a Model Y and even test drove it a few times throughout the course of my lease, just to get an idea of what I might want once the lease ends. The Model Y sits higher, it's got more room. You know, it's funny, in my younger years, all I wanted was just a fast, loud car. I'm talking Mustangs, Camaros, those were my cars, loved them. Now, all I want is space and comfort. Honestly, this is 30. So I decided on a Model Y. And in case you're not familiar with the Model Y, here's some footage of it right here. This is my baby, love her to death. This is what I bought. It is basically like a compact SUV. I also wanted a tow hitch and all-wheel drive. And of course, these are additional charges, upgraded features. So the price came out to $51,630 after taxes and fees. And if you haven't seen it, please go watch my YouTube video on how much I made on my first month on YouTube. It's right above my head here. Check that out. I want you to watch that to get an idea of how much I'm bringing in, because let me tell you, it's way more than I expected, but I don't think it's gonna cover a $50,000 bill. Well, my lease ended and it was time to get on the app and start my finance journey with the Model Y. And if you're not familiar with how Tesla does things, it's a little bit different than your local car dealer. You order your Tesla on the website, you actually design your exact dream car, everything you want. Then you upload information, you pay, and you basically do everything else on the app. To finalize your car, once you've built it and everything on the website, you have to pay a $250 deposit that is non-refundable. There's no commitment other than that deposit. So I did all of that a few months before June, before my lease ended. And then I went on the Tesla app and it was time to discuss finances. So I put in there my terms, what I would like. And I said, I would like to do $500 down. The response sat in the Tesla messaging section and it said pending for days. I then got an automated message with the title that said approved. Y'all, I about lost it. $500 down for a Model Y? Y'all, I'm getting my car this week. I was ecstatic. And then I opened the message. I was approved. They weren't lying, but for slightly different terms. The message said that I was approved for $20,000 down. I got a message that basically said, hey, $500 down is a little low. Let's try and meet in the middle, and I don't know, a number off the top of my head. Let's do $20,000 down. Yo, I was so mad. I'm telling you, I was I was livid. I messaged that automated system that this was insane. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not paying that. It's crazy. In this economy, I can't just go grab $20,000 out the old vault that I have hidden in a bookshelf somewhere, because none of that exists. And even if it did, the craziest part of that little story is the $20,000 itself. No! So again, I messaged that automated system for days and just came back and said, I can do 500. And it would come back and say, hey, 20,000? I'd say, no, 500. And come back and say, hey, 20,000? Y'all, it was arguing with the wall. And the way the automated system would say is, hey, accept these terms and move on. It's no, I can't. I actually can't do it. I even, during this messaging session over the course of like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I even went to the Tesla shop itself and talked to real people. Now, I did receive the answer that I kind of figured I would, which was, hey, sorry, it's all done through the app and our finance department. We don't really handle that, which it is what it is. I kind of expected that anyway. And over the course of 4 or 5 days after the original extremely generous offer made by the Tesla bot, I got a phone call, and it's Tesla, an actual human on the other end of it. This Tesla representative said that he looked and saw the chat and could tell that I may be a little frustrated. He was correct. He simply asked, hey, what's the most that you can put down on the car? And I said, all right, look, the most I can do is $1,000. And honestly, in a pretty non-judgmental way, he said, okay, give me a second and I will call you back. A couple hours went by, got a call back, and he said, hey, would you mind signing over the federal tax credit to Tesla? And in case you don't know, federal government gives a tax credit of $7,500 for buying a new Tesla should you meet certain requirements. Now, this deal did go away for a while, but as of the filming of this video, they did put it back. So this guy explained to me what he's able to do. He said, look, we can do $1,000 down. I was like, okay, great. He said, but it's gonna look a little like over $8,000 down on paper. And I was like, okay, explain. He's like, all right, so the tax credit that you signed over is $7,500. You're giving that to Tesla, so you don't receive it. I was like, okay, great. He said, then the $1,000 down. So now we're at $8,500, right? The tax credit, $7,500, you're $1,000, so now we're at $8,500. Also, the $250 deposit goes toward this. So now it looks like $8,750 you were putting down on your new Model Y. So what does that mean? It means that for $1,000 out of my pocket on that day, I got my Model Y. Now, maybe you already knew that was a thing. I did not. I had to go through a pretty dramatic experience to finally learn the magic of how moving money around can finally get you what you want. And because of that, I wanted to share my experience with you. So just in case it helped any viewer right now who's like, I really want a Tesla, but I can't afford the down payment. Because again, on average for the Model Y, $5,000 to $12,000 down. I don't have that. I don't know if you do. Maybe you're doing better than I am. But I can tell you right now, times are tough. And I love my Tesla, but I also get it. The economy sucks. There was no buyer's remorse, and there still isn't. It's been 2 months since I bought it. I love that car. But I wanted to make this video in case you were on the fence or you felt like there was no other way. Y'all, there is a way. Ask about using that tax credit as your down payment. And hopefully you get the same experience without all the dramatics, y'all. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Like the video if you liked it. Follow me on the socials and shop my Amazon storefront, all in the link in the description below. Shop my merch at eastonexplorers.com. Also, comment below if you have a Tesla or if you're looking at buying a Tesla. I'd love to hear your finance story or your opinion on the car. And I'll talk to y'all next time. God be with you.